What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and of course we're here with the second day of Grand Party. Of course, this is the Uber special season, where you can get infinite retries. You only need 10 victories, 50 rainbow gems given out, a bunch of rainbow scrolls, bunch of bounty. This is a fantastic season. Like, definitely get your hands in this season. Get those wins, get those free gems. It's so easy. Just make sure to go ahead and do it. But today, we're going to be covering one of the other New Year's characters as a Grand Party leader. Now, I do think this is probably up there with being the next best Grand Party leader. It's wild whenever we get a new Super Sugo Luffy. Character just seems absolutely cracked in Rumble. And yeah, this new Luffy is going to be one of those guys. His Grand Party burst skill is just so incredible. One of the really great aspects about it is very, very easy to activate, as you only need to take damage 12 times. That's it. It doesn't even have to be a Rumble special. Just literally any normal hit of damage, it will count towards it. And I do believe that if a character does like AoE damage, let's say it targets like 3 characters, that counts as 3 separate hits towards your gauge being filled up. So obviously mass amounts of benefits with using this guy. And then the burst skill itself is just so absurd. Being able to give your strength, psi, and fighter free spirit characters level 6 attack, and then it gives everyone 2.5 times leader attack through defense. And then psi and int characters, or 3 psi and int characters, are hit with 6,000 fixed damage. So psi and int are very annoying, especially the int teams. They're very, very strong. So being able to do that much damage against them and then do an extra 6,000 fixed damage towards them is very strong. So this probably, as it stands right now, is probably the best Grand Party burst skill in the game. Very easily activatable, strong ability, helps deal with a lot of the really annoying meta teams. So, man, this is going to be a tough one to beat. I was really thinking about it as well. Like, obviously, if you have this guy as your own leader, it's incredibly strong. But what I was thinking about is, like, what if you have to go up against this? Like, what do you even do against a guy like this? Because there's not, like, any particular strategy you can try and employ to, like, get around this. Because, you know, with, like, the Psi Gear 5 Luffy, if you are just able to output more damage than your opponent, they just never get their burst skill, or it's very hard for them to get their burst skill. Int Luffy is really annoying because once he takes 55,000 damage, boom, he gets his burst skill, and of course it does quite a lot of damage. But like this guy, just 12 singular hits, and as I said, AoE hits count multiple times against this burst skill requirement. So I do think going up against a guy like this is going to be really annoying. What I will say though is that the teams that you would often see under Luffy are probably going to be a little bit more easier to deal with. You know, if you just see like a strength team, for example, I think strength with a pretty potent quick team, you can get through it. But of course, they'll probably run a free spirit team, and free spirit is pretty good, especially when you start seeing more Luffys with more investments, even Roger, Rayleigh Gaban with more investments. That free spirit team is nasty. Very, very brutal team. But then, like, what else would you possibly see? Like, maybe a Psi team? I feel like Psi teams are more manageable these days, so there is that. So, I don't know, maybe you would still use a slasher team under this guy. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. So, slasher teams could potentially appear, but they don't really receive buffs from the Luffy leader skill. So, I think that's probably one net positive, I would say, is that you don't really have to worry about, like, too many other teams getting, like, mass amounts of buffs. The ones you really have to worry about are the teams such as Strength, Psi, and then Fighter Free Spirit. So those are the ones you really need to look out for. But like obviously the Powerhouse team doesn't get a lot of buffs from this guy. Slasher team doesn't really get a lot of buffs from this guy. So those are the two most annoying teams. Even like the Int team, for example, doesn't really get a lot of buffs from this guy either. So a lot of the really good teams in Rumble right now don't receive a lot of buffs from his leader skill. So I guess that's some way to look around it. But overall, I had a pretty positive experience using this Luffy. I felt like he was a lot of fun to use, and of course, during this season, strength characters that are also free spirit receive +1 to their burst launches, meaning Luffy in this case normally only has 2 launches for his GP burst. This season he has 3, so it means that, you know, you get to use it more often. You get to use it, it's just a really powerful ability. In a lot of cases, you probably can get away with just 2 anyway. Like, having 2 of these bursts is usually more than enough, but having that third one just as like an insurance is just really, really cool. But we'll see what happens as we move forward. And we've seen it in the past, though, where they have gone out and totally nerfed certain GP leaders from being able to be used. Like a few seasons ago, where Int characters got -2 to their burst skill or something, so Int Luffy literally couldn't use his burst skill. So I think something like that may have to occur if this strength Luffy ends up being as potent as I kind of think he's going to be. Very easily accessible, like usable, like very easy to use. You could just use this guy on a team, on like a bench or whatever, and build whatever you want. Kind of like what Psy Gear 5 was when he first came out, where, you know, you could just like run whatever teams you want that kind of facilitate the rules for the Grand Party season, and then just by using Luffy, being able to get access to such a really powerful burst skill that all you have to do to activate it is get hit 12 times, which is really, really easy. So yeah, this is going to be a really nasty guy to look out for, so be very cautious going up against this Luffy, and especially when the teams become hidden, it will be really, really annoying to get through. I can't remember if teams get hidden during the special season. I think they do, but definitely in more normal seasons where reaching 15 victories is the goal, this is going to be really nasty to go up against when you can't see what your opposing teams are going to be. But we'll see what happens moving forward. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this Luffy if you guys have been using him. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about him down below in the comment section. Honestly, I am kind of tempted to feed him some level limit break wanted posters to get that damage up even higher. I'm very, very tempted to do it, but we'll see. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
Yo soy un sacanamiento, soy un...